Welcome back, subscribers, and hello YouTube viewers. On this occasion we're looking at an underground network that leads to a bunker. Now what's totally unusual about this location is that in fact it's in a cemetery. So this is a World War II bunker. It seems quite odd that you'd have it in a cemetery, but it is what it is, I guess. You know, during wartime this is what one did. I believe this is also one of the Italian ones that was built after the First World War, when the Italians pretty much occupied most of Zadar. So we're in the a suburb of Zadar, not too far away from the coastline as well as the mountains. I'll get the drone up. Fingers crossed that we don't have any issues with being to some sort of military base or the airport. I'm pretty sure we're far away from the airport for that to not be a problem. But I'll swing the camera around just to show you exactly where I am, and we'll have a quick look at the church that's inside the cemetery before we go underground. And that's literally what we're going to do. We're going to go actually underground, and on this occasion I've brought a torch. Now, on some of the other little explores we've gone on to, I've forgotten to bring a flashlight, and I made the €3 investment to buy just a cheap little flashlight that will hopefully give us something to look at. So I'll swing the camera around and let's have a look to see where we are. So here we are high on a hill. Here's a radio, TV receiver, signal tower, whatever you want to call it. And as you can see, we are definitely in a cemetery. Now we'll go wandering around. I'll show you where I've parked the car at the end, and you'll see where we've got like a huge metal bunker type arrangement that's sitting above the surface, where you'd either stick a machine gun out or a lookout point. But this is the church, and this is where I guess they have their last gathering when someone passes. So it's fairly modern. It's not something that's hundreds of years old. I'd suggest that this is probably less than 100 years old. So as you can see, very much inside a cemetery. So here we have the church. I just spoke to some locals who are visiting a grave site, and as you can see, just the amount of flowers and everything. It's November still is pretty much the whole month is dedicated to the memory of others, be it at war, for those who have passed, for family members that have passed, and the like. And it's just lovely. Some of these cemeteries, they're just pretty to look at. So there's that lady that we just met, and they're just making their family tombstone just look like a little bit nicer. Now, if you are coming out this way, once the drone goes up, I'll be able to give you a little bit more information. Once again, I've just gone to Google Maps, did a little bit of research, not too much, and I know that if you do come to this cemetery, look for this cross. This will give you a bit of a tip on where to actually find the entrance to where you'll discover things. So basically, if you're at the cross, there's your tower, and directly to the right, if you're once already in there, you'll see the entry. Now, I do have a flashlight, and that's your entry right there. Now, that is quite spooky, but we're going to go down anyway. There's no locks on this steel cabinet, and pretty much that's how I found it. So we'll make our way down and let's explore. Hopefully we don't go and see any coffins, which is going to be quite tragic for me. Okay, it echoes once you get in here, and let's flick on the flashlight and let's see where it takes us. So we're now probably just outside the actual cemetery, and well, geez, it even goes deeper. It goes way down. So here's a doorway, which is not too spooky, I guess. And we come around to another doorway where the door still is in place. Give you a bit of a look to see how these hinges were once designed to keep it locked. Okay. Oh geez, it goes right down. So this is really a terrific tunnel system, latrina. So I'm still thinking this is Italian built. So this is the toilet for the soldiers that were stationed at this bunker and tunnel network. Wow, I'm glad I made the effort. Okay, so we've got two ways to go. We can go left or we'll go right. We'll go right first and let's see what we see. So this is a big open space, and I'd say we're outside the actual cemetery proper. I'm hoping this all comes through. You'll see that the top is made out of steel by the rust that's showing. Wow, we can go left or right as well. You can get lost pretty quick around here, I'd imagine. Oh yeah, this goes on and on and on. So we're going to go up this way. We're going to try to look at everything. I don't think I can get lost that easily. Now there are these little, I don't know what you call it, little slots along the way. We've got a mattress sitting in the middle, and wow, this just goes on and on and on. I'm not going to press pause at all. I'm just going to keep on walking and not hit pause. This goes a long way. You can probably hear the echo. Not too spooky at all. That's just me stepping on a loose bit of concrete. And here we have another doorway. And let's see where this takes us. Or is it a dead end? No? Oh, crikey, this does really go on forever and a day. That looks like an exit that's been blocked. And this continues on. Let's see where this takes us. Wow. We would have already walked up to 100 metres, I'd imagine, so far. It does go on quite a long way. What do we got down here? Just a little bit of rubble. Nothing too exciting. You can see along the ceiling, I'm not sure if I can show you, there would have been lights back in the day. You definitely do not want to come here at night. It would be very scary, or without a flashlight. So we're hoping this flashlight lasts for our return. And it looks like we've come to a dead end. Okay, well, at least we made it to the very end. So this would have been another point of entry maybe, and we've come to an end. So now we've got to go way back this way. So I'll turn off the camera now, only because we've come right to a very end of one of the passages. Now we've slowly made our way back. There is some old writing here, giving you some sort of direction on where you want to go. So where we went left, we're now going to go right. And let's see what this leads us to. And this leads us somewhere upwards. And way down there. These passages go on forever. If you are claustrophobic, I suggest you not come through this way. And here we have a closed off entrance point. This will probably be like the one we just saw. So it's got C42 written up there. But we won't interfere with this closed lid and make our way back. So I'll turn off the camera until we get to the point where we've been but went to another passage. Okay, so now we're back to where we sort of started, where we could have gone left, could have gone a little bit straight, or could have gone right. We've been that way, so now we're going to go forward and see what we find. At least these passages are all clear of any rubble, graffiti. This doesn't look promising. Looks like we're going to come to a dead end pretty quick, which is okay, no big deal. But you can see how they've got doors every now and then, I guess. And there's a lizard. Look at that guy. I wonder what he eats every day. Not sure, but there he is. Okay, so another doorway. And it doesn't look promising this way. And we have come to a little point. Oh, okay. So this is quite interesting. I've now made it to where I parked the car. And I mentioned earlier there was a steel turret, but it doesn't spin. It's where you'd have the machine gun placement. So I can turn the light off now, my flashlight, and we'll make our way up. I'll just show you where I am, looking up. So there are the openings. I'd like to be able to climb up there. I'll turn off the camera because I need my hands to help me get up. Now we're right in the position of this steel bunker sort of place, and I'm going to guess and say just there is where you'd mount some sort of machine gun, I'm imagining. And then you'd have another one at this location. And another one at this location. And finally, where the tree's hanging out, is another one. So it could be a case of the machine gun being placed in those holes, or maybe a machine gun in a few of them, maybe two, and you could probably have, well, you could probably have 4 people standing here, no problems whatsoever, at a machine gun post at all 4. There is enough room. What I'll do is just show you where I'm standing. So we've come up through that passage, and when I get to the surface, because it's right where my car's parked, so I will show you the top of this and then you'll get a better understanding of where this is. We're actually outside the cemetery area now, so we're well away from the cemetery, but it's interesting how you have to enter via the cemetery. Now I just wanted to show you how dark this place is. I will turn off the flashlight that's just above my head as I'm going along, and then you realise where I am. And you cannot see your hand in front of your face. It is pitch black. There is no light whatsoever, so it's very important to bring a flashlight with you. I'm not sure if your mobile phone will be effective enough. I've just bought a flashlight from the service station, very cheap and very good. Once again, I'll turn the light back on, and there we have it. So if you are a bit claustrophobic or scared of the dark, this is not a place for you. I don't mind, it doesn't bother me at all. So let's continue on and make our way back. And I think we've got one more area to check out before we've done the entire underground tunnelling. Okay, so we're back to that spot where we've just come down from the cemetery. We've been to the right, we've now been straight ahead, and the last area we have to check out is here to the left. So away we go. Let's see where this takes us. Now, are these the areas where the soldiers would have slept, where the ammunition would have been kept? I can't really tell you at all. Once again, we've got somewhere where we can go to the right and somewhere where we can go to the left. I'll try left first this time. And let's see where this takes us. Oh, this is a really big area. And I do appreciate the fact that we have no graffiti or vandalism and really no rubbish in this area. Some of the areas have been blocked off, which is reasonably enough. Just saw a huge rat, like half the size of a cat. He's gone through just in there, and we've hit a dead end. There is some writing here, and I'm not sure if that's going to come on with the camera. So there you have it, something stenciled there. Okay, so we'll make our way back and we'll see what goes the other way. So once again, there's more stenciling and writing. I'm going to assume that that is in Italian. Now someone's put some fluoro arrows. I guess they're worried about being lost. So here's another stencil with a sign on it. And we haven't been that way. It's the only way that we haven't been to, and then that's it. Now, I'm not sure what this actually says. Once again, I'm going to just guess and say it's Italian. And, oh, another really long passage, this one. Now, what you have to also be aware of, if you come without a flashlight, you're going to get yourself into trouble. There's a lot of little pit holes everywhere. I'm assuming that's where maybe water would have run through, electricity, power for back in the day. So you need a flashlight, because the last thing you want to do is step in that, break a leg, and you're going to be in trouble. As you can see, they crop up quite often. So here we go, making our way. I'm assuming these little places, these little sort of slots in the walls, is if there's something large coming along and people are coming the other way, they have an opportunity to pass each other. Once again, big doors that used to be there, they've been removed, steel doors of some sort. Here's another one that's been removed off the hinges. And now we come to a dead end. And yeah, we have. This could be another one of those ones where you step up and there's a thing at the top for observation and machine gun mounts. So that's it. So we've gone around everywhere we could. Now to just make my way back to the entry point that's within the cemetery itself. And hopefully we will be able to get that drone up, give you a perspective of where this is. It is a beautiful day outside. The skies are blue. It didn't appear to have any wind whatsoever, which is great. So that'll really benefit the drone quite a lot. And here's another sign. I like to get the signs in. I don't know why. Maybe someone can read them and make some sort of translation of them. I think I could do that myself. So I might be able to, if I can, translate what each and every sign actually says. So this is where the way we came in. These are the toilets. And there's that sign, latrina. I think everyone knows what that sort of means in Italian. And once again, we're going to make our way out and to the surface. And as you see, that's the way we came in, and that'll be the way we come out. So I can turn off now my flashlight. And here we are. Quite an unusual sort of setup. of this bunker system. Something that I guess you don't normally see. And just way in the background there, you can see the snow-covered mountaintop. And just behind me, you'll see the Adriatic Ocean out there, or sea. Okay. Now I thought I'd just share you with this. Looks like there's another steel entry that's actually closed up, and maybe it's also full of rubble that we saw earlier inside. So there's more than one entry point from inside the cemetery. If I see one more, I'll show you, but I believe all the rest are outside of the cemetery itself. But it seems to be around the perimeter of this cemetery where the entry points are. It's not like in the heart of the cemetery. We'll just wander up here to see if we can find another steel lid, which will suggest that that be the case. But as you can see, it's just a marvellous day. The cemetery couldn't be more pretty when it comes to cemeteries. It just looks terrific. So we'll just go a little bit further here. So here we are at just one of the entrances to this cemetery. As you can see, there's the tower, the signal tower for satellite and phone or some sort of communication. And then when we're inside the tunnelling system, this is where I popped my head through and showed you where what I believe to be the machine gun post with the 4 openings. So we'll go this way so we're not in the shade, or we don't cast a shadow over this thing. And that's what would you call it? A steel casting, very thick, and as you can see, pretty much right at the entrance, or one of the entrances. I think there's about 3 entrances to this church, and just beyond those trees you'll see a stool, and just past that there's another top, what I believe to be a steel structure where one would mount weapons to, that comes through the surface from those tunnelling. So I'll turn the camera off and I'll make my way there and show you what I'm talking about. So there you have it. This is the other one, and I'm going to guess and say, as we're going through that tunnelling, this is the one that got blocked off from coming up, so you can pop your head out to have a look through those gaps. So this one also has, as you can see, there's all this stonework on either side, and I'm just going to guess and say they tried to camouflage it, so then if you made an approach to this location, which is on top of the hill, you'd get caught out because you'd think it was something other than what this actually is. Once again, there's 4 openings, and there you have it. Actually, I've just realised where I am. This is the actual one we came through and had a look through. And the only reason I'm saying that, so that first one that I just showed you is not where we walked to with the tunnelling. That's the one that is blocked. And this one is the one that we actually were able to climb up and look through the hole, so to speak. And the only reason being is, if you recall, there was a stick inside the place, and this one does have the stick still inside. Yeah. So this is the one we came through. There's the stick that was poking through. Wow, so this is actually, we did walk a fair distance in that tunnelling system. So this is where, I think I showed you where all the mounts were for the machine gun passaging, and that's the hole. I'm sticking my hand through that hole, and down there is where we climb those little stairs, and that passage takes you pretty much, if we come up and over, to, well, if you see that house, or that, it's not a house, it's just that concrete type shed, that's where you can see the perimeter of the cemetery, and we are about, I'll just get it centered and zoom in. So just beyond that trees and behind that fence is where the entry point was to come to here. But as I said, there's a few entry points that would have brought you here as well. So there you have it. It's pretty cool. I'd have to admit this is probably the best bunker tunneling thing that I've stumbled into, only because it's in the cemetery initially. And I got to meet some lovely people who were there just decorating one of their family tombstones. Now I'll just jump in here with a little bit more information that I've researched and uncovered. So, with the end of the First World War and the dissolution of the Austro-Hungarian Monarchy, Zadar belongs to the Kingdom of Italy. However, encircled with the territory of the Kingdom of Yugoslavia, Zadar represented an enclave on the eastern Adriatic coast. Learned from the end of the war and growing mistrust, all European countries began defining borders and building bunkers. Italy starts off construction of the fortifications at this location in 1931. Zadar gained particular importance as an enclave. In addition to the defensive functions, it also served as a springboard for new conquests. The fort was used by the Italian army during the short so-called April War, which the attack on the Axis powers of the Kingdom of Yugoslavia from the 6th of April 1941 to the 17th of April 1941, and probably by the German army in the years 1943 to 44. During the Homeland War in Croatia of 1991 to 1995, it was intensively used by the Croatian army. So there you have it. Now I will pop up a little map that I found on where all the tunnelling goes, and you'll see where we entered into and how we couldn't access everything, but we did get to see a fair bit of it. So here we are at the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I found it extremely fascinating that one can just wander around these tunnel systems. It's open to the public. You can make your way here. It's not a big deal. I spoke to people that were actually in the cemetery. They were totally aware of it, and they said, no, people come here quite often, which is just fantastic. So if you did like the video, by all means, click on that like button or that thumbs up icon. Please consider subscribing. Subscribing does not cost you 1 cent, but it helps out the channel immensely. But most importantly, stay safe, commute safe, and have a great day. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.